blessings. What's good with you? Much love and respect. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are really enjoying this month. You know this is Pisces season, and it is what it is. Pisces definitely do what they do. Yeah. Much love. Do me the favor and kindly please share the page, like the page. Quick topic. 20 minutes, 15 minutes tops. If you could do me the favor, share, like, I appreciate it. Thanks. Much love to all the good energy people. Much love and respect. Peace and blessings. Yeah. Well, once again, the topic is going to be something light but something heavy. As you can see, the topic is basically when she's aware of the red flags. When she's aware of the red flags, but she ignores them. Yeah. Y'all know those type of people, even men. You got men who actually ignores red flags when they're dealing with women, correct? Yeah. A lot of men tend to ignore red flags dealing with women because most times they only see body. They only see cuteness, prettiness, voluptuous body, behind, tatas. And they tend to ignore all of the red flags. I think we all can agree to that. If you can hear me real good, please let me know if you can. I appreciate it. Just put a 1 in the chat if you're able to hear me, if the audio is clear. If not, I gotta change some things up. But anyway, sometimes the red flags are evident when young men are dealing with women, but they will ignore them because they want validation so bad. They want to have or be in a relationship so bad. Or as a possibility, they just want some sex so bad. They will outright ignore all the red flags. Real talk. So just as men ignore red flags, women definitely ignore red flags, I believe even more, only because there are times women tend to ignore the red flags but turn around and play the victim game. Yeah, that's a fact. And it's getting more and more evident. It's getting, the accountability is definitely not there. And I know some of you heard of the young lady who had this series about why the F did she marry this man, or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to, for those who didn't hear it, this is part 1. I'm going to allow you to hear some of the red flags that this young lady herself admitted that she witnessed but yet ignored each and every last one of them. Men definitely do that as well. But the difference is you don't really hear too often men running around saying, ain't no more good women out here. You know, all women are bad. All women is no good. You don't hear that too often. Not saying you don't hear that. I'm saying not as often, but you often for many years been hearing this from men. I mean, from women, elder women, and young women. Listen to the young lady who actually ignored all the red flags. First, I would like for you to put a 1 in the chat if you're able to hear me clearly. I appreciate that. What's good with you, Daniel Lloyd? Peace and blessings. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know you do hear me, because I don't want to be going through this and you guys don't hear me. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm waiting on at least a 1. And please give me a like if you can, so that I can know that we can move on. All right, thank you, Crystal. Appreciate you. Thank you, Daniel Lloyd. Here is the young lady who admitted. Now, one thing I do respect about this particular young lady, she's very transparent, right? She's transparent and she is honest about some things, but then as I listen to her, I can tell that she's not quite, I don't know, I would say street smart. You know, you can have people that's very, very book smart and very intelligent far as schooling and all that good stuff. But sometimes you get people who don't have that edge of being taken advantage of, you know what I mean? Like, she kind of have that nerdiness about her, I feel like almost that nerd type of thing. You know what I mean? She's a little on the heavy side, not saying nothing is wrong with that. She's cute. She seemed very intelligent, very articulate, very strong. She has that independent mentality, I feel also. But unfortunately, she met someone who she now saying, who the fuck am I or did I marry? She's straight up with it, angry about it, because she's hurt. Here she is. She's going to explain how she just met this young man.
Use the hair, but here is part 1 of who the fuck did I marry. So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under 2 different names. So one was his actual name and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself.
And that right there is a red flag in itself. And she actually admits this. All right.
Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags.
See, I like that. I like that she actually admitted it. She realizes it, but I think because of all the things that happened in the process of this connection, it seemed as though she's been burned a lot. And at the very beginning, she seen a red flag, but she ignored it. Yeah. Many of the young women and elder women have done this, but they regret it after the fact. Here we go.
It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th.
Now, this right here is one thing that most women will never admit. They might admit it to themselves within themselves, but they will never truly admit outwardly that, yeah, I effed up. I knew he was messed up. I knew he was wrong. I knew he wasn't right for me, but I still did it. You ask them the reason why. They ask themselves the reason why. I don't know. I was just stupid. I was just young. All kind of reasons and excuses.
We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not gonna say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Now, this is another red flag for women. That's a lot of information so soon. It's another red flag. You know what I mean? It is all right to get to know the person and everything on the phone, but for the first phone call, it seemed as though he's giving her a lot of information, a lot of detailed information about himself in the very beginning of just meeting someone, not meeting them face to face, but literally on social media or a dating site.
He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, you know, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL. I know about college.
And trust me, he knew you didn't know. Believe that. He knew.
Go Dogs. But I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, you know, like, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football. And I believe I did tell him that. I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, you know, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing and they're helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house, ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out.
Now this is the fish hook. This is the fish hook for what some cats on the street call them squares, for square women. Square women meaning they can be very intelligent, very wise, very educated, got their thing together, never been in the street, never been in the hood. You know what I mean? So these are some of the things that hood dudes or slick dudes, manipulative dudes go after. So he's definitely put out a fish hook with a long fish line on it. And by him doing this, he knows that she's biting
out there. And so I thought, that's great. You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work, and this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. He eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th, 2020. He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures, because, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So
it seemed as though she does online dating a lot. She said that seemed like it's always a thing about online dating. And this is where a lot of the new wave of dating is happening for square women. And a lot of them definitely get duped.
So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out. So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station, and I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing.
Now, this is a man she just met. She's calling him to come get her off the highway.
He kind of paused, he got quiet, and he was like, tell me exactly where you are, drop your pin. So I dropped the pin, and he came to the gas station. Got out the car, and I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures that I was like, oh my God, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Now, if he wasn't attractive, if he wasn't her ideal looking man, it would have been a no-go right off the bat. But because it was something she was attracted to, she kept it moving. She kept flowing with it.
Also, man, I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had 2 children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20, and he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him.
Telling her everything she want to hear. Everything she want to hear. And she's soaking it up. His mission was to deal with somebody in this area where she is. Real talk.
She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation was, we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, you know, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world.
See that? Somebody changed her tire. She's not even used to someone changing her tire. And that was sexy to her. Yeah.
And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So
That's the fish hook. That's the fish hook.
Followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it.
Woo! He paid for it. Uh-oh. Ding, 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 ding. Paid for it. That thing hit her over the head real quick after he said, I'm gonna pay for it. Something came over her like a magic wand or something. Yeah.
So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I had butter.
You can tell she's not used to someone showing her love like that, because it's a possibility that all the dudes she may have went out with on those sites, on them dating sites, never holds her hand walking into an establishment. You know what I mean? So that was like, wow for her. You know what I mean? That was real big. And he, as the dude, can sense that, because this is something he probably used to doing, all right? To women who don't get that attraction from dudes that they really, really like, or that those, how can I say it? They're not used to that treatment, I should say. They're not used to that treatment. And some dudes know that about some square women.
Butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies. And we go in, there's a long wait. And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, you know, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away.
You see the hook? The hook? He doing this. Yeah, that's what he doing. He putting it on heavy too. And she just, her mouth was wide open with the hook in the bottom of her jaw. Yeah.
And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real, because the first time, you know, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear.
Notice that. She even said it. She's transparent. Everything she wanted to hear. That's that hook. He reeling it in heavy. I mean, he putting it on thick. He must have had a big worm or some type of big bait on that. You know what I mean? Some really good tasty bait on it, because she bit into it. Like I said, that hook is in her jaw. Real talk. And she all the way with it. She not even fighting against the red flags. You know what I mean? She going against every wave that's possibly that red flag that come at her. Every big wave, she going against it with that hook in her mouth, pulling towards that dude to hop in his boat.
And so he was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part 1.
Somebody sent this to me, and I figured I'll watch it with you while you watch it with me. And again, this is only part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Much love and respect. I thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back soon. This is D.A.P. D.A.P. Much love and respect, y'all.